No, it says live. Am I still in the same chat? There's 15 people online, so we must be. It's looking kind of creepy by this light.
Who's looking kind of creepy?
Me. That's like Carl. Wait, I can do this. I look like Carl. In the picture.
There we go. We are lit.
They can see us now.
Yay! Hello. Hello.
Okay, we are in the TARDIS. It's this. How cool is this? I need one of these in my house. So it's not Viking Valley, but we have a lot of representation from Viking Valley in here. Like the candles. Those are from Viking Valley. And you have other stuff in here too somewhere. You got everything everywhere. Oh, and the axe behind your head, I think is a...
There's also Thor and Freya behind Carl's head on the other side.
Always liking happy gods. I'll put this way so I can see you though. Anyway, so it's dark because we're sitting next to a fire in this tiny little shed. It's the TARDIS. What do you think?
Oh, no, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it'll be really hot in here too. Okay, so it's been 18 minutes. I have no idea how much they heard from the wonderful car, right? About the wonderful, is it Honda wants to name a car? Honda Fita. Okay, that's a fire.
What? I like fire.
He's a pyromaniac monk. But I was going to show some needle binding books in there in the car in my vast taste to get up here. Are you ready for your? What is this? There's all over the
decorations.
Table. You really got to start feeding Carl.
I thought I had started. I don't know what happened.
See, look, I'm not kidding. It's the same. Look at your hand and look at that. You can't see your hand. It's the same.
Carl, where's the finger?
Oh yeah.
Come on.
You have to put him over here where there's light. I don't know if you can see him. There's a story. Look at the little fingers. Look at this one and look at that one. I don't know how well you can see it. Might need more light. Oh God, no. He's getting the.
You asked for new lights.
It's gonna start everything. There. Oh my God, it's Satan. So, if you remember a while back, he took on every member of the village, fighting anybody. Yep. And what did you do to Carl's hand? Because we found out that it looks like you broke his finger.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit him
with
the sword. It was his fault.
It was meant to do great things, and you broke it. Are you sure it's broken?
No.
No, it's definitely not. Well, your fingers weren't normal in the first place. The Viking thermometer.
You should see his face right now.
Which part? When I said his fingers aren't normal in the first place, or that his little finger was meant to do great things? Do you want to tell a story?
We can carry on chatting because my head's not into stories
Your
yet.
head's not into stories yet.
It's like, what?
Okay, then I will catch up with all the chat that we missed while we were driving in the car trying to figure out where the hell we are. Charlotte is here. Saga the Viking is traitor. Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that one yet. Perut is here. Nell's here. Tabernaverjantis says hello to drop in for a few. That's Mirik. Tabernaverjantis is where I get all my Viking crap. Miriam, it's not crap, it's nice. Miriam Hertel is here. Julie Johnson. They got more time to make coffee. That's good. That's thinking positive.
Mm-hmm.
I told them to write where they were from and the temperature so they can get all that out of them.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Yurdis Neff is here as well. Hello, Yurdis. I haven't seen her yet, I don't think. Let's see. Oh, they've been checking out each other's pages. Julie has checked out Tabernaverjantis bowls, and apparently they're very good. Heidi Lisa is here. Runa's sister. Susan Youngman. Lyra of the Spinning Wheel wins. That's see, Susan Youngman is here. They're talking about all the weather. Oh, that's right. There's another hurricane, isn't it, in the United States? Susan Youngman is, oh, no, Saga the Viking Trade is making fingerless mitts right now. Those are the ones I made for you, Carl. Susan Youngman was working on the Åsle stitch cowl as part of a stash busting challenge. I'm getting there. You might need more light. Oh, God. Every time I say light, you know that chocolate and next to this is going to be melted by the time
I don't care.
He's a devil. He may be wearing a monk's robe, but I swear to God, he's worshiping the wrong end of that plane.
Yeah. Completely. Well, I'm Loki. I mean, come on.
Anyway. Yeah. So would that be? No, it's not Helheim.
No.
Helheim.
That's cold.
It's a cold and dark place. Karin Hollock is here from Phoenix. Just reading what they wrote really quick. They're talking to each other, which was really good. Drea's here from Duluth. Warm and breezy up the hill. That's normal. And well, it's colder by the lake. And Regina's here. And yep, so they're stash busting anyway, which is really good. I have about half my stash busting done. I have more to do. I made a cowl, which is not very Viking, but it looked really cool. It is like, yeah, it's like this thick though. It is super thick, that cowl.
Really, really, really thick.
It's really thick. If I knew it was gonna, it was a good thing it was a stash busting challenge, because I swear to God I would have stopped that thing and had it been a work in progress or something, because it was a lot thicker than I thought. But because it was a challenge, I had to finish the damn thing, and I'm glad I did. It looks really cool. But some really cold person is gonna. Carl, you might need that. You're really cold, aren't you? Because you have no meat on your bones. I'm so sorry I'm throwing you under the bus.
Yeah, I'm sitting off camera to be insulted throughout this entire thing.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. Arlene Cross is here. We're just going to feed you, Carl. Roxy's here. Okay. Why aren't we guys performing some Nordic All Hallows Eve ritual? Did you not see the monk and the lighter fluid? I think that's pretty ritualistic.
Just, you know.
Jesus.
Is that ritual enough?
Is that ritualistic enough?
I can do more.
I'm
happy to do more.
This was Carl. He burnt him.
I can do more. I'm happy to do more.
This was Carl. He burnt him.
Ah, crap, monk. Oh, sugar.
Yeah. What can you tell us about the Draugr, whichever one of you, by the way, because that's probably the one thing we should definitely talk about. That is a Halloween. I can't speak.
You can't speak today. What's wrong?
No. I think my lips are cold, and it's. Where's a pretty place to buy drop spinning spindle and or another length? Yeah. Look at what Taberna Verjantis writes in there. If you go to at Taberna, he has a Etsy shop too. On Instagram, if you go there anyway, he's got spinning spindles. That's the ones I use. Okay, tell us about the Draugr. Have you been studying?
I've been reading up a little bit on Draugr.
You're in there somewhere. You need a
I can show you the Draugr.
You have a Draugr? You can show the Draugr?
Yeah.
I can't throw Carl under the bus yet another time. It just doesn't work that way.
Oh well, that's fine. That's fine. But I haven't thrown him under the bus yet. So,
okay, so you can do it.
Exactly.
Okay, first you put this under your face and you start with, it was a cold and lonely night.
It was a cold and lonely night.
There you go.
I'm not doing that.
You're boring. But what can you tell me about the Draugr then?
So
I should spell that.
Draugr, Draugr. That's it.
Oh, good. Probably the closest to Viking Halloween.
Basically, Draugr, from what I've been reading up, are supposed to be the spirits of Vikings who start walking again. So effectively, a little bit like something in between ghosts and zombies, because they aren't supposed to be. Huh?
I said he's allowed to correct you if he wants to, just to put pressure on you. Continue.
I'm trying to be as thorough as I can because I don't want to be corrected. Thank you.
Just sit here and look at him judgmentally.
Perfect.
Evil. And the Draugr are said to come back to life, or start walking again, not come back to life because they're not alive. And they're supposed to start walking again for several different reasons. One could be because they're protecting the things that they have been buried with. Another thing might be because they have some form of unfinished business with someone in particular, and so on and so forth. But there is also meant to be a distinction in the sagas. There is a distinction between land Draugr and sea Draugr. And I'm not entirely sure what this distinction is, because that was as far as my research got before I had to run off and start a guided tour.
Yes, we had a surprise guided tour. VIP.
I have not been reading up on this recently, but I can say that part of Norwegian folklore from long after the Viking Age, in my grandfather's day, basically, is something called Draugr, the Draugr in. It's
You should sit here. They can't see what you're wearing anyway.
when people at sea are about to drown, they will occasionally see this creature rowing past their ship.
Yeah.
And he is a man rowing half a boat. So and this is kind of in Norwegian you call it a varsel, meaning
a warning.
Yes, but in a supernatural sense, it's much worse. It's like you are fucking doomed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Omen.
Yeah,
it's an omen.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's an omen. Oh yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, more lights.
Yeah. You sure you want to sit over there? They can only see like your face and nothing else. They don't even know that Greg's hair has been not rebraided yet. There.
But they still can't see it, so.
No, see? All they see is Greg's head floating in the black. It's kind of creepy and perfect for Halloween. So you have a story based on these Draugr?
That I don't have.
Do you have one?
Not really.
Do
I remember so little of it. They are mentioned in some of the Icelandic sagas, but I don't remember which one, and I don't remember enough of the context to do anything more than.
No, story-wise, they would be a little bit tricky to talk about.
Do you have a Halloween Norse mythology story?
I have a story that involves transformation and death. Does this count?
That counts. Does that count, bro?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the tale, and tell me if I've said it before, because I can never remember whether I've told stories or not.
It's a whole different episode. You can do it.
Okay. This
I was
is the tale of
see.
Otter's Ransom, this tale is called.
Yeah.
So effectively one day Odin decides that he's going to pay a visit to Midgard, and he's going to travel around a bit with Loki. And so they're traveling around one day, and as they're traveling through the worlds, they start getting hungry in the evening, and they spot an otter. And Loki uses a slingshot and kills the otter, and they cook it and roast it and have it for dinner. And then, of course, they start looking for some form of accommodation for the evening. And the Vikings are a very hospitable people, and they are supposed to offer housing to anybody who asks for hospitality. And so Odin and Loki march up to a nearby house that they see, and they knock on the door and they ask for accommodation for the night. And when they do this, the people who answer the door at first are very, very polite and welcoming, and Odin says that they are happy to share some of the leftover food that they have and present them with the otter for food. Now we're going to have some fire while I'm telling the story, apparently.
Yep, a little bit of it.
And so they offer the food, and as soon as they offer it, the owners of the house become extremely hostile, and they turn away and they march into the house without saying another word. And the gods think this is a bit strange, but they don't take much notice of it. And so they continue and they eat the rest of the otter. Well, in the middle of the night, and they stay overnight in the accommodation, they wake up to find that they have been bound, and they family, the father and son who own the property, decide that they are going to kill whoever killed the otter, because otter was not and so they ask which one killed the otter. Loki was the one who killed it, and Loki says that he will pay for the damage he has caused to their family. And the father and son discuss this, and they agree on the condition that Loki has to cover the entire skin of the otter with gold. And so Loki goes off and he finds a particular dwarf that has a massive hoard of gold. And he captures this dwarf, and he demands to have all of his gold to actually use for the ransom. And so the dwarf obviously doesn't want to give it all up, but eventually he does. And so Loki packs it all up into sacks, and then he spots that the dwarf has a ring on, and he says, "That too." And the dwarf grudgingly gives it over and says, "Fine, take this, but it is cursed, and whoever should wear it will be taken over and have great misfortune come upon them." Loki doesn't think much on this and actually starts wearing the ring himself and takes the gold off and starts to cover the skin of the otter when he gets back to the house. And every single part of the otter is covered except from one whisker. And so Loki, again, slightly grudgingly, takes off the ring and puts it over the whisker to finish covering the entire sack. This is where the term blood money comes from, because they have paid for
I didn't know
the
that.
death. There you go. Extra bit of factual
Blood money
information
from
there.
the Vikings.
Yep. And once this has been covered, obviously the gods leave and return to Åsgård. But as the dwarf had stated, the curse does befall the family. At first, everything goes okay, but eventually the son grows jealous over this hoard and kills his father to possess the hoard himself. And he himself starts to change into a dragon. And this is also where the inspiration for Tolkien's Hobbit comes from, because of this story.
Oh.
Because the dragon then lies over the treasure hoard and guards it fiercely, just like Smaug in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And there is your Halloween tale.
Aw, I like it. Do we have any questions for the monk, by the way? What are people doing on Halloween, considering it's a Corona Halloween?
Watching us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Watching me show up late, drive a car, get lost, take a wrong turn.
Where the hell did you go then?
Well, because I never see the turn at Twinterfossen.
Oh,
in the
right,
dark.
okay.
Not in the dark, I don't see it. And then, of course, I have somebody who can't see in the dark next to me, which is probably not very helpful, as I asking him, did I just miss the road? And yeah. But it was, and then I missed the road up here too, because I can't see them very well. There's no lights on the streets. And then it's Halloween, but there was not one single trick-or-treater out there.
No.
No.
Oh
God, no, he's going to do it again. He's going to, okay. He's going to do it. Might be the
Does
devil.
everybody have eyebrows still?
No, but I'm definitely glad I pulled the computer away from it. Or the Loki device. So how did you end up in Norway? Living here?
Me?
Did we ever ask that of you? How did you end up living in Norway?
Don't know whether you've ever asked. I mean, it's...
Considering your dialect isn't very Norwegian?
No. I've been coming here since I was 6 months old, so this is very much somewhere I've been a lot of my life.
But you're related, or?
No, not related. It was my grandfather used to come here in the Merchant Navy back in the late 40s, early 50s. And he fell in love with Norway, wanted to emigrate, never got the chance. My mother grew up hearing about Norway from him all her life, and then decided to take a trip. She fell in love with the country. She brought her mother. She fell in love with the country.
Yeah.
Parents got married in Stavanger. And here I am.
A product of Norway.
Yes.
Norwegian, yeah.
Now I'm going to just disappear into the
You're going to disappear into the... Did you find anything on your phone you were looking up?
I was just fact-checking my memory when it comes to a particular story from the Viking Age.
How was your fact-checking?
Yeah, no, my memory is still good.
You want to tell the story? We need a story. We'll get it on you. Carl's going to tell a story, but we have to put you over here, Carl, because we can't see you. So you have to switch seats with me. There. See, they can only see your face anyway. That's Carl!
Hello.
Suckered him into it.
This one is from the sagas, and it's about the
Norwegian king and Viking superhero Olav Tryggvason. Olav Tryggvason is probably best known for the English for the Battle of Malden and subsequent robbing of the English mint. But after that, he actually manages to become king of Norway, and he is kind of famous for two things. He is very athletic. He climbs mountains for fun, and he runs on the oars of his men rowing the ship while the ship is moving. And he is also very interested in the saga stories. So he talks with wise people whenever he finds them. And once at Avaldsnes, near Haugesund, he is having a gjestebord party. And this very tall guest shows up in a broad-brimmed hat and blind on one eye.
Do you look freakier now?
And he sits there and talks to the king all night, and he's very wise, and he can tell him about things from many lands, and he can also tell him who is buried in each of the burial mounds on the farm that he is on.
Oh, wow.
One of them is a cow, by the way, because one of the people who lived on the farm was really fond of his cow. And Olav finds this very fascinating, so he sits and talks to this man long into the night. And then he goes to bed and goes to sleep. And in his dreams, I think it is St. Peter, one of the saints, basically come up to him and go, "What are you doing? Do you have any idea who you have been talking to all night?" This is obviously Odin. So he immediately wakes up, runs down to the kitchen and goes, "Okay, the old guy I was talking to last night, where is he now?" "Oh no, he's left." "Okay, did he bring any food?" "Yeah, he brought some meat that we just put in the pot with all the other food." "Take all of it, way out of this farm and bury it in the woods, because it's probably poisoned. That guy was Odin, and there is no way that he is coming between me and my plans to make this a Christian country." Which is basically the end of the story. Which makes me question Olav Tryggvason's Christianity a little bit.
Who is Olav Tryggvason?
Olav Tryggvason. He is one of the few kings of Norway that you could call a Viking king without him having any rights to be insulted by it. He becomes king of Norway by... He's a descendant of Harald the Fine-Haired, but basically so is everybody. That's not really a big claim to become king. What you need to become king is to have a lot of armed men that are loyal to you. And when you are a very charismatic and good leader, and you also can do almost supernatural things like jumping into the air, catching incoming javelins, turning them around and throwing them back at the guy who threw them, then getting people to follow you is pretty easy. But you also need a little bit of money to do that, hence the robbing of the English mint.
Yeah. I think... I'm not sure we should let him play with the fire anymore at the Viking village. Because wasn't that you?
This might not be the cheapest way to light the building, I think.
Well, it's one way. I'm just going to see what it says here. Happy Halloween, says Robin. Ann Decker is needle binding a pumpkin. Sieve says she loves listening to you guys. Sieve was here in the summer, by the way. She's from Vestby. Well, not originally, but she lives in Vestby. She's originally from Hoven, I think, or near there. Anyway, Regina says it's cozy by the fire. Andrea says, cool story. I think it was yours first because you came in around here. No, Roxy says it is cursed, getting the mummy return vibes. Do we have any more cursed stories? I kind of like curses on Halloween. I kind of feel like the sending was cursed in the beginning today when I was running late and trying to send from a car and then couldn't get the video to form. And if you couldn't hear us in the car, then you missed the whole story about the Honda. Did you guys really miss the story about the Honda car? Because that one's kind of funny. Apparently, they're going to name a car Fitta, which
Yes.
is,
Oh my god.
it's not a good word. You had to tell the story just in case they missed it, because that was really good.
Honda produced this new car, and the tagline was small on the outside, big on the inside. And they called it Honda Fitta, which probably doesn't mean anything or mean something nice in their language. In our language, it's one of the worst words you can use for female naughty bits.
if you wanted to call someone a word with a C, the C word for female, not good.
Yeah. So basically, they were selling a car with, the tagline would be something like Honda Vagina, small on the outside, big on the inside.
That's like right up there with the testicle story.
I think they decided to call it something else.
Oh, yeah, okay. I would have been. I still think that's right up there with Where's Willie and the Philosopher's Stone's got nothing on this one, but the Honda Fit.
The Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah, the Harry Potter's Sorcerer's Stone in American English.
American English. I don't
and
know
Philosopher's
why.
Stone in British English, because the Philosopher's Stone has something to do with drugs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's
now I
something to do
understand.
with alchemy.
Maybe.
Well, I know it is, but
Well, yeah, in the book
apparently,
it is something to do with alchemy.
Why would
in
that
real
change
life
for
it is.
Americans?
I don't know.
It's
real life alchemy, as opposed to this fake
Well, you know what I mean.
Who knows the difference between a Philosopher's Stone and Sorcerer's Stone, and why it had to be a different name in the United States?
Please tell me. I've been
Please
wondering
tell me.
this
I
for
can't remember the
years.
whole story, and I don't want to wiki it. Robin is watching and drinking. That sounds like a good Halloween. I'm down here, by the way. Ask Carl why he's smiling. Just kidding. It was a bad joke. I'm going to be in big trouble.
Oh dear.
Andrea says, scary movie night at home with the boyfriend and the puppy. Heidi Lisa says, Yerding and Ting Tentleys for Birchdogs Barna. That's right. It's Runa's birthday today.
Oh yes. We need to
Happy
smash-
birthday, Runa! He's not there. But I guess
Git, where are you? We're trying to wish you happy birthday.
he's on the other side of the valley here. In the
He's further up.
yeah, oh, he's up that
He's
way.
that way.
Yeah.
Oh, but he will probably watch the recording at some point.
He'll watch it at some point. Well, we should maybe we'll call him after and say happy birthday, Runa. So Runa, the needle guy down here. There, he's older today. I'm not going to say how old. So congratulations, Heidi, on your birthday. Yeah, that's a lot.
And we are still waiting for the 60th, I assume.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're waiting for the 60th party. He's got about 9 years to go, but we're not going to say how old he
We
is.
could do a 65th in a couple of days.
Ooh, who's 65th?
My mother.
Huh? Greg's mother has a birthday soon. Let's do it. Any excuse to celebrate.
8th of November.
Drea says, what about the Viking wise women? They could be fearsome. Yeah, somebody has a story about she has a story about vulva.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carl.
Carl. Now that we have you here.
I'm mythology, not always. other
Wise
things.
women, Norway.
I don't think I have. Off the top of my head, I don't.
I hear your parents.
Yep. They come.
Hello.
Hello.
Wise women in Norway. You know, like the
You have the story of Gangerolf's mother. She's not a vulva. She is just an ordinary mother who is kind of pissed.
Now, pissed, drunk, or mean?
Angry.
Okay.
American
pissed.
Mhm.
When Harald the Finehead became the first king of Norway, he made some kind of rudimentary laws. One of them, pretty important, do not plunder the coast of Norway. Everything belongs to me now, so you cannot go around plundering the coast of Norway. That's not acceptable.
Hello.
And most people kind of abide by these rules because he is a strong and powerful king and you don't really want to mess with him. But a guy called Gangerolf, Rolf the Walker, and he had that name because he was so ridiculously tall that when he tried to ride horses, his legs kept dragging along the ground. So he just dropped riding altogether and walked everywhere instead. This guy just doesn't care.
Jeez.
So he just keeps on riding the coast of Norway as he's always done. And then at some point, the king gets tired of this. So he goes to his farm on Vinstra, near Ålesund on the western coast of Norway. And obviously, Gangerolf isn't there. He is probably off riding the coast of Norway. So he goes to his mother instead and says something along the lines of, hey, when you see your son again, it's time to start making a grave. And she answers, well, if the king ever meets my son, I'll be making a whole lot of graves, but I will not be for him.
Ooh.
That's
Was that
the
wise?
closest I get.
Is it a wise?
I wouldn't call it a wise woman, but
Fierce woman.
She's fierce, yeah. So we watched this German series yesterday called, well, basically Barbarian, but in German.
Yeah, this is 1,000 years before the Viking Age.
Of course, but they had a woman seer type thing in there.
Yes.
Vikings didn't have anything similar to that because the TV Viking series says they did.
They might have had. That's the thing. We know very little for sure about anything to do with religious practice in the Viking Age. Most of what we claim to know is guesswork.
It's gonna be loud a minute.
Sorry, putting
That's
coal
okay.
on.
More fire.
All right. Yep. Have you seen Google Greg?
No, I haven't. I did
So
not.
Greg's parents are in the house.
Who's that?
It's YouTube. Say hello to the rest of the world.
World.
And the other one's over there somewhere.
Oh, if you can see me, no,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah. So we're sending live for about 15 more minutes. I'm stuck to my jewelry again. Sorry. There.
This is just the second time I've been in this. Is this the usual level of professionalism we have around that?
No, it's Halloween and I'm screwed up and everything. I pretty much figured out that the blonde American isn't quite making it in Norway. Don't tell anyone. I'm fooling them. No, it's usually a little better than this.
You want the
No, it's okay. I can't.
light for the
Oh yes, I
Oh God! Then they'll find out what we actually look like.
Proper light.
wondered why I couldn't.
see?
That's a light as well.
That's a good way of doing it.
Careful you don't melt the
Laptop.
laptop.
Yeah, no, he's trying to get us a sunburn.
Thank you.
Modern devices. American Purda says the American publishers thought that philosophers don't. What did you just do?
Just upsetting your YouTube account.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not a normal day. Oh my God! Look what Carl looks like. He's not in Viking clothes. I totally lied. We'll just do that.
She's definitely
Purda says Americans thought that the Philosopher's Stone sounded too intellectual for American audiences. I haven't actually heard that. I don't think that's the actual reason, but I think she pretty much took a good dig at my cultural.
Thank you.
Carl, that's for you. Happy
Ooh.
Halloween.
Thank you.
We got
That's for you.
candy.
Happy Halloween.
Candy.
the others away from the fire.
That's a good idea.
Well,
yeah.
he's been lighting the fire. They're pumpkins. They're little chocolate pumpkins.
So, yeah.
So let's see. Drea writes, Norwegian birthday song is fun. We're not singing that though,
No.
because I'm horrible at singing. But it's a funny song because it says, "Hooray for you,
Ready?
who has gained another year. For you, we will congratulate. We will celebrate."
Oh, lovely.
And basically, it says, you know, I have bowed, I have danced, I have spun, or whatever. What more do you want me to do? Congratulations. It sounds like we're. It's pretty much what the song is.
No, I haven't thought about it in those terms.
No, but you
yeah,
said it's like,
no, that's what
Ja,
the song
boken
says,
ikke nøjes nu som kring danser for deg med hopp og sprett og sprint. Yeah. So I'm dancing for you. I'm bowing for you. I'm doing all these things for you. And are you happy yet? Happy birthday. Anyway, Julie Johnson says Chevrolet's Nova in car in the 70s was renamed in Mexico because it translated to no go.
I'll leave that one there for Carol.
I didn't know that.
Anything else?
No,
Right?
it's all right.
Yes.
We got
Did you know that?
Yeah,
What
well,
now?
there you go.
Julie Johnson says Chevrolet's Nova car in the 1970s was renamed in Mexico because it was translated as no go. I didn't know that.
Did you have the crisps, Greg?
No, not yet.
Hey, Karen, we can hear you whispering. It wasn't me. It was Greg's mom.
Sorry.
She was
I wasn't
whispering.
whispering.
She just wasn't using her very loud
Yeah,
voice.
Greg over there too. Can do it this way.
There is a reggae song called Rum and Coca-Cola.
Oh,
For some reason, well, the reason is that in England you cannot have the name of a product in a song title. So in England it was called Rum and Lime Soda for some reason, and it doesn't even make sense. But,
Nobody knows what's in Coca-Cola.
no. Andrea says European chocolate is so much better than American chocolate. Yes,
Yes.
I will tell you there are three
Especially
things
Norway.
better in Norway. The hot dogs taste better in Norway. The
What?
chocolate tastes hot dogs taste
Pulsa.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pulsa, yeah. The chocolate tastes better and ice cream.
And jam.
I don't know. I don't eat berries,
Okay.
but I'll trust
Yeah,
you
it's
on
very
this
good.
one.
Very,
Bloody
very
good.
good.
Do you agree?
Yes,
Very good.
100%.
There he is. I see Greg. He's a monk. Except maybe baseball. Well,
The pin-
baseball
the
rocks.
pin
I played
is
baseball for
receiving
16 or 10 years.
The
And it was a boys' sport, and I didn't care.
I think in Norway you would have problem finding enough people who know the rules to set up a team.
There's a baseball team in Draugr. You can actually go to baseball school in Draugr.
Yeah, but you don't have anybody to play with.
That's why they keep advertising.
Oh, they're all lonely. You got nobody to play
No, I would play it though. I loved playing that game. Arlene Cross says she's dressing as a plague doctor and delivering candy to kids. I like that. Do you know what I was going to dress up for Halloween if I could find the appropriate wig?
Yeah.
I was going to get a short wig with a wedge haircut and a different color in the front and ask to speak to the manager because my name is Karin. I thought that would have been good.
That would have been very good.
I just have to spell my name slightly differently and it would have been working. So for those of you who don't know what Karin is, look it up. Apparently she's a... well, you've been watching all the memes. What is she exactly? My kids like this.
Basically, anyone who has, I don't know how to describe this really, odd opinions, I suppose.
Yeah,
She's in her 40s.
Maybe you can-
Minutia and wants to speak to the manager.
So now that you know a Karin in real, is this accurate?
No,
No, not in your case.
no,
Yeah.
You are a Karin, but you're not a Karin.
yes.
I'm a Karin, but not a Karin?
Yeah.
Do I want to speak to the manager?
You speak to the manager all the time, but it doesn't help.
No, that's right. So there you go. What were you going to dress up if you, because Greg said you were going to dress up originally.
Originally, yes.
What were you going to dress up as?
We had some buka and Romans yesterday, so all plans kind of disappeared.
Yes, we had to do some celebrating yesterday. Oh, thank you. I will not eat these right yet, though, because they will munch in the microphone.
This might come as a complete surprise to most people, but it takes very little makeup to make me look dead.
Draugr. Draugr.
He is a Draugr. No, we like you just the way you are. I'd give him a hug, but I'd crush him.
Both of us did that at the same time.
Could you?
Andrea says she used to play
Lift
softball.
this
That's
up
close
a
to
bit,
baseball.
right?
I'm just turning it so I can read it.
No,
Regina
it's
says
not pinned
Hugo
in.
Boss ad on
If you-
Malta
no,
of a
no,
guy
wrong one.
swaggering in a
That one
suit
over
with
there,
a
Dad.
voiceover of
You lift
"Here
it up
comes
a
the
tiny
boss,"
bit.
translated as "Here comes the fart." I like that one. Andrea says, Kidzo Karen video, look at her crazy
Yep.
eyes. I could do
There's the pin roller.
Lovely, thank you.
crazy eyes. He does it better. The crazy eye thing.
Well, I never try to do it, but occasionally.
No, you just do it naturally. That's why we like you. Bonnie is here, my Aunt Bonnie. Happy Halloween. We're giving out boxes of raisins. Yum. So are you actually celebrating Halloween, though? Because it's pretty much, it's not canceled, but nobody's going to open their door. Not many people are opening their door. Not many people are letting their kids go out because we are on a corona spike.
Any forks or anything above your head?
We were, we hit 478 cases in one day.
Yes.
That was more than we had in March. You're the corona guy.
That's the record.
That's the record.
For some reason.
Uh-huh.
But then again, we had all the dark numbers in the beginning because we didn't have enough tests to go around. So we could have hit that high.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
that would be back in early April. In that case.
Charlotte sends a heart. Yeah, Karen's the same thing. I'm a Karin, but not a Karin because she spells her name the same way as I do. And I asked her earlier, a couple of weeks ago, she pronounces it the same way too. So she's one of the few like me where my mother couldn't spell. As we say. Karin.
Oh,
So in Norway, everybody wants to say Karin.
Oh,
And in the United States, no, everyone will say Karin, but they don't know how to spell it. They'll spell it with an E, like the meme.
yeah.
Carl has a Carl Harley dialect. Carl has a wonderful dialect. What does his dialect sound like? I keep thinking it's Vlad the Impaler, but he doesn't agree with me. What do you think? Your dialect is really cool. You have the rolling R's.
I
You talk
don't
about
notice
your-
myself, so I would say that,
Okay.
like most Norwegians, I speak perfect English without the tiniest hint of a little dialect.
Oh,
There is no accent when I speak English, none whatsoever.
I love your dialect. And he also speaks New Norwegian
Bye.
instead of the bookmal. like Åsle, which is, I think, maybe why your dialect is even weirder than most. But
But
it's cooler though.
It's more unusual because most Norwegians speak bokmål. Nynorsk is somewhere around the area of 1/5 of Norway speaks it.
Yeah.
Sognefjord is
Sognefjord is
there's a stronger Norse, isn't it? And its written language is all.
The Sogn dialect it's more similar to the written Nynorsk than written bokmål, but it's something entirely different. They have weird names for numbers, among other things, so, which makes them very confusing for other Norwegians to deal with.
I'm just reading. Well, I can sit soon anyway, but nope. It says, Peruta says, Carl is awesome. Thanks for blessing us with your spookiness. See, you're wonderfully spooky, Carl. If you hug him, he gets scared. It's funny.
No, not necessarily.
You can handle another hug?
Yes, it kind of depends on who does it.
Did he? I didn't look. I was too busy hugging. Did he freak out when I hugged him?
Karin has seen me spontaneously get hugged by a hippie.
Sweaty hippie.
I thought he was gonna say
Combust, so did I.
No, he didn't. He just like. That was. He got this hippie guy comes up and gives him a hug in the middle of a corona epidemic, and I mean he's a very fit guy, but he smells like he's been working out all day too. And Carl had nowhere to run; he was cornered in a booth, and the guy just reaches over armpits and everything. He gives him this hug. And Carl's like, it was quite funny. So if you see Carl, elbow. No, so Carl has a very Scandinavian accent. I couldn't tell if he was Swedish or Norwegian or the other. No, tell him it was Swedish. That's how you insult a Norwegian.
Yep. I could have chosen Danish, but you went
That's it. I knew I couldn't put my finger on your dialect. It's Swedish.
Geographically speaking, I am from the part of Norway that is physically the furthest away from any foreigners. My closest foreigners would be the English by traveling to Newcastle by boat. There should be very, very, very little Swedish.
And then you take the meatball and you put it in the soup.
We do not speak it like that at all.
Like the Italians.
Nope, I'm sticking with Vlad the Impaler. I'm pretty sure Dracula sounds like that if he could.
Danish sounds like somebody from Oslo with a paralyzed tongue.
That's what Jeffrey sounded like today. Really swollen tongue.
The guy you can dance.
Just a little bit.
Warning, Prudence a hugger. Can't wait to hug the lot of you. She is coming, just so you know. It's not that far from Moscow. She will get here. Regina's dying of laughter over here, and Charlotte is too. Oh, the Norwegians say that Danish sounds like speaking Norwegian with a potato in your mouth. But yours was new. The way
I prefer Carl's way.
With a tranquilizer tongue. Meanwhile, my accent rocks. It does not sound anything like Fargo, don't you know?
No, you sound Irish.
An Irish guy actually asked me, "Oh, your dialect sounds familiar. What part of Ireland do you come from?" I'm like, "I'm American."
Yeah, that part of Ireland. Where most Irish people live.
Yeah, no Irish people there at all. Actually, they're all in like
from Ireland.
they're all Upper East Coast, so like Massachusetts, Boston, that area, and I'm from Minnesota. So the Fargo thing would make sense because it's about 3 hours. Oh my God, I cannot figure out how to sit. There we go. It's because my shoes don't bend. No, I'm making Carl uncomfortable. It's so fun. Christina Jervis, the other guide advice, if she writes, "Hey, I'm Danish. It does sound rather potato-ish." We like her. And by the way, Viking Valley is watching. Hi, Tufa! We're up to no good. No worries. Notice the beautiful background of Viking Valley, Gudvangen. We've changed locations today because Greg has bacon. It's worth it. And chips.
Crisps.
Oh, no, that's right. British invasion.
Outnumbered.
Potato chips, and they say crisps. And then we have the bacon is definitely looking crisp. That could be crisps. Prudis Danish children take twice as long to learn to speak because of all the swallowed sounds. Not kidding. I believe that actually. Behind somewhere I had my needle binding there. To go on topic for about 5 seconds, that's okay. It's my chocolate. I did needle binding. That's about all now that you can finally see it. This is the Arboga stitch. That's the one I'm working on now in my stash busting thing. And it looks like this on the back side. So there, we talked about needle binding today. I didn't get to the books because it's too dark. Can't see it anyway. So I have something to do next week. We'll go through the books. Arboga, exactly the way Regina wrote it. That's the name of the stitch. Ingela Anderson, I think, is one that likes to write it do that one a lot. She does the square on needle binding. It's really pretty. So they're a little on topic, but it helps when you're using Malabrigo yarn. You can't see all the beautiful shades in there, but you will. Carl, you look really good in this.
Stitches, yarn.
Arboga and a Carl. And see if I missed anything else before we go here. Americans think my Suffolk accent sounds Australian. Roxy, I agree with you. I've heard your accent. It sounds a little bit, yep. Couple of kangaroos and you'll be set. Drea says she worked a couple summers as a barista in Alaska. Would you like a bag? Would you like a bag for your bag? Is that what they say? Bag for your bag?
Thank you.
I've never been to Alaska, but I will. The blue is definitely Carl's color. There you go, Carl. Blue is your color. If you're lucky, you can have the hat. It might be too pretty. I like your hat though. It just needs mending. You're a red one with the.
What's wrong with it?
It's the stitching is coming off.
Oh no.
Well, it's like 10 years old, isn't it?
It's at least.
Yeah, so we will fix it. But now it is 7:03, and thank you for playing with us. I'm so sorry that we were late, and we will be better next time. But hopefully you had a lot of stories, and we did sucker Carl in because there's nowhere for him to run, and we're blocking the door. Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank
Sorry,
you, Greg's
Greg's cooking.
Greg's cooking.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. It'll probably be Saturday next week. I'm pretty sure of it. And how do I end when I can't see my chat window? There.